Hello, this is Kev, and this is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Just want to give you an update on the Amber Guyger trial. I think the jury is deliberating. The very latest of this trial, the judge declared that castle doctrine, which is an archaic law in Texas, um, I think the law basically states if you feel like someone is a danger to you in your own home, that you can kill them. I think that's my understanding. The only thing that I'm really finding funny about this entire thing uh, is that it wasn't her own home. Um, this is quite sad, and it's okay if you are a black person to be sort of worried about this, based on everything that we've seen in the past when it comes to trials where cops have killed unarmed people. Um, as you all know, Amber Guyger was the Dallas Police Department cop that on the night of September 6, 2018, walked into Botham Jean's apartment um, and gunned him down while he was eating a bowl of ice cream. That's what happened. Um, at the time, the officer, Guyger, well, why am I even giving her a fucking title anyway? Claimed that she sorry, she claimed that she walked in the wrong apartment by mistake. And it's BS. It is. That's the only thing I can say about it. Is bullshit. Because she's a cop. She's supposed to be a trained officer. When you're a police officer, your observation skills are supposed to be superior. But from the time this was first reported to the time that to right now, it just seems everything just stunk about it. Everything just stunk. I mean, first off, Botham John being gunned down in his apartment. That's the very worst thing about this whole entire situation. Botham John is dead. You know, out of everything that's screwed up about this, a young man in the prime of his life is dead because of a quote. Let me put the quote fingers up. A mistake, a simple mistake. And that mistake was argued by the defense during this entire thing. And it's like the whole thing just sounds crazy, but this whole latest castle doctrine thing, it's got a lot of people worried right now. Now, this is Amber Guyger. Like, this is a picture of her describing what happened that night in the courtroom. Looked like she haven't gotten much sleep, and hopefully she never gets another. She never rests. She never rests easy another night ever again. But you know what? This is just a show she's putting on for everyone. She's worried that she might actually go to prison. Once she's off, her face will light right back up, because I really don't believe that she feels bad about this. She feels bad about having to go through the public humiliation of being on trial. But it's like from the beginning, it's like the Dallas Police Department not arresting her, the Texas Rangers only charging her with manslaughter because it was handed to the Texas Rangers, because the whole thing they claim it. The Dallas Police Department claimed that, and Chief Renee Hall, look her up, claimed that she didn't want, like, they didn't want to compromise the department over like some personal issues or some personal stuff. You found out that personal stuff was that Amber Guyger was sexting with her partner that night, distracted that she was on the wrong floor. That's what they're using right now. But this castle doctrine thing sucks. Let's see. Scroll through the pictures. Let's pull up a good picture of Botham John. Yep, that's Botham John right there. I don't know. Well, I'm just wondering, like, what he looked like with a bowl of ice cream in his hand, because he seems pretty non-threatening right here. That's my whole point. I mean, if anybody feels anything at all, I mean, it's okay to be upset because it looks like it's coming. It looks like she's about to get off. Um, I hope not. I'm trying to hold on to a shred of hope just because of how heinous this whole thing is. But I'm about to show you a series of videos that that just makes this whole thing look bad. All right. First off, I'm gonna show you a little clip. Hopefully, it's in the spot. Trooper David Armstrong's comment that wasn't admissible to the court. I mean, it wasn't admissible to the jury, but they showed it to the public, and they showed it to the public for a reason.
Trial. Texas Ranger David Armstrong was the lead investigator of the shooting. Day 3 now of the Amber Guyger trial.
Shit.
May be honestly remembered for the test.
Sorry about that.
Lead investigator of the shooting. The jury was not present, while the judge considered his testimony that he would not have charged Guyger with a crime.
No, I don't believe that it was reckless or cruelly negligent based on the totality of the investigation and the circumstances and facts.
The judge ruled that testimony inadmissible.
Yeah. Before, like a lot of people, before they go into the whole oh, he's a coon thing, I want you to understand that when it comes to cops, and I'm not saying all cops, I'm sure there are good cops out there. I know a couple good cops myself. When it comes to cops, they really go out of their way to protect their own law enforcement, the judicial system. It seems to be that way, like kind of around the country. And there are so many examples of this. Just look it up, a simple Google search. I mean, if you Google certain names. All right. Now, I want you to, this is very significant right here. This before the whole trial began. I want you to read this headline. This is as reported by News One. Dallas police preparing as if Amber Guyger will be acquitted for killing Botham Jean. Number one, you have to wonder how people get privy to such information. Some things are public, but it's one of these signs that you see. It's like, okay, okay, we kind of expected this. They probably are preparing riot gear. And I mean, it might not even happen like that. I mean, I'm sure protests will happen, but you know how they treat protesters. So I believe this. I believe when it comes to things like this, I believe that law enforcement and the judicial system are just about capable of anything. I mean, why even give them a chance? But yeah, I'm gonna show you a couple more sickening things, and then I'm gonna get out of here. I didn't do a video about this one, but I'm gonna show you the Amber Guyger on the stand and just how she's doing the white girl basically. She's crying on the stand. She's like, oh my God, I feel so guilty, blah blah blah. I don't believe she was being genuine. I believe that it took all the hard work in the world to come up with those tears. I mean, those tears are just coming from the fact that she's, once, like I said before, she's being publicly castigated for this. I mean, she lost her job. Whatever, she deserved to lose her job. She deserved more than that. All right, that's all I'm gonna show her that because it's ridiculous. I mean, she says a bunch of ridiculous things I think she doesn't mean. But I mean, how could she even have that look on her face when she had that Pinterest account? I mean, she had a bunch of bravado then, like with Blue Lives Matter, I'll shoot you, all that other crap. But now that she's being put into public, oh, look at this. What a pathetic display, to say the least. And I don't want to hear anybody be telling me, oh, you be crying too if you was on trial for murder. I'm not going to mistakenly walk into somebody's apartment They think it's mine and just shoot him. Oh my God! I thought this was my apartment. Like, you're a police officer. You know, you've been trained to have observational skills. Why? All right, but without getting too ridiculous, just want to just read this headline right here. And this is the Washington Post. This is not some one-sided, like some people be like, oh, they're saying it like this. They're just trying to keep everybody divided, divisive, but these are facts. A white cop shot an innocent black man in his own home. A judge ruled that castle doctrine might protect her. Now, yeah, the judge ruled. The judge told the jury that it was okay for you to use castle doctrine. The judge, and it's like this. It's like it's like this. Judge Tammy Kemp is a black person. When it's like, I'm not saying don't figure race into this, because race is at the bottom of all of this. Race is connected to every part of this case right here. I mean, I really can't stand the people that say, "Oh, it's not about it's not about racism. She made a mistake." No, she didn't. She had intent. The intent was all over the place. But Judge Tammy Kemp told a jury that castle doctrine can be used. Just throwing a bone any way you can. It's a Blue Lives Matter problem. That's all I'm trying to say. Let me read this paragraph right here. Dallas County District Court Judge Tammy Kemp ruled Monday that the jury can consider the state's castle doctrine in the trial of Dallas police officer Amber Guyger, who said she mistakenly walked into the apartment of Botham John, a 26-year-old accountant who lived one floor above her, and then shot him dead in September 2018, thinking he was a burglar. And let me read further. The judge's decision to allow the defense to use the law, which says your home is your castle and you have the right to defend it, has raised the bar for prosecutors and sparked outrage and disbelief from critics who question how the law could protect Guyger when she shot John in his own apartment. Yeah, that sounds pretty crazy. It's like it was. How the hell you gonna rule to use a law like that when it wasn't her place? She was negligent. She was negligent. And people used the argument, if it was Botham John that had mistakenly walked into her apartment and shot her, he would be in prison already. We know this. There's no. I mean, you can say that I'm bringing up imaginary scenarios all you want. That we know that's the case. We've seen it too many times. There was a black cop that just went down for killing somebody. You know, and it just makes me question all the Blue Lives Matter mentalities of everyone who is African American in this situation. The judge, the Texas Ranger, the police chief, the previous DA, Faith Johnson. Oh, look at that. Oh my God. She's disgusting. The previous DA, Faith Johnson. The only person really was in law enforcement that tried to do anything that moved forward to punish Guyger was John Crizzle. He was the He's the current DA. He beat Faith Johnson, I think, back in the previous election. I think the election happened in December. I should really have my information straight. I do apologize to the viewing audience. But he beat her out, and I think the reason is because Faith Johnson would not move forward and made a statement publicly about the Amber Guyger shooting both of John. She said she didn't want to move anything because of political pressure. Like I don't know, I'm beginning to hate this. At the bare bones about it, how do you feel based on history? Political pressure. Somebody even claimed like social justice, like the SJWs might have ruined the case. What in the hell does the SJWs have to do with this? But that was Faith Johnson's excuse, political pressure. And I think because of that, she's not DA anymore. John Crezolt has it. The judge Tammy Kemp admonished John Crezolt in the courtroom, and it was reported about doing interviews about the trial because she put a gag order on everyone. But due to the nature of what he was saying about the interview, she said that it could not be used against the prosecution. You could not declare mistrial. The defense attorneys have done and said every fucking thing, include using the whole marijuana thing. Excuse my French, I'm sorry. Include using the whole marijuana thing. Like, because everybody, there's a mentality out there. If you smoke marijuana, you deserve to die by a cop for some reason. They tried to use it on Trayvon. Well, they did use it on Trayvon Martin. I even had somebody talk to me one time, was like, Trayvon Martin smoked weed. So the fuck what? My French again. I mean, Botham Jean was on his way to being a success. So what does that say about weed smokers? I mean, I can just say not all. But that is just utterly stupid to sit up there and try to use marijuana to justify a man's death. Like, okay, them reefer madness days are over. I mean, some people ain't realized that yet. But we would also think that the days of blatant racism in Blue Lives Matter, because I mean, like, the NRA even said something snide about Botham Jean. If he had had a gun, he would have been alive today. No, he couldn't. No, there's no way to justify that. It's like he would have gone down if he had shot Amber Guyger. Period. We've seen it too many times. There's no way Botham Jean would have ever gotten away with that. But sadly enough, it looks like that Amber Guyger is about to get away with this. Just be prepared. I'm not gonna tell black people how to act. Not gonna do it. I mean, some people get on the YouTube channels. Oh, black people acting like savages because this shit keeps happening. I'm not gonna tell black people and people who are angry about this what to do. I'm not gonna tell them to go out there and tear up stuff. I'm not gonna tell them that they should sit down and do nothing. I will recommend that you start looking into your local elections. But it's hard. It's like, it seems like with that side of it, it's such a fraternal order that you might not get what you want out of that anyway. I mean, it depends on what you want. If you're a viewer that actually thinks that Amber Guyger actually made a mistake, she thought it was her apartment. She thought Botham Jean was a burglar. If you're that kind of person, which, everyone is entitled to their opinion, then okay, you might be getting what you want. But it sucks. Your rationale sucks. So and everybody and people are like, oh, this doesn't shock me at all. It shocks me a little bit because this is new. People don't realize this is a totally new thing. I mean, besides a situation like Corrin Gaines, where it was a standoff. It wasn't even a standoff. This man was eating ice cream, getting ready to burn one, maybe. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna end this broadcast, and I don't know. People may think might be a little corny, but I don't really care what people think. I'm just gonna end this broadcast with a moment of silence for Botham Jean. I really, really want this kid to get justice and to rest in peace. Amber Guyger has to go down. But just a moment of silence, and then I'm going to end the broadcast. Oh yeah, fuck Amber Guyger.